Howdy chat, YouTube! It's Deck Tech time. This time, for a little bit of Ketramose Psychic Frog control. We got 4 copies of a terrible looking Thoughtseize, 4 Relic to go with our 4 Ketramose, some new card from Edge of Eternity's Consult the Star Charts. We're going to see if it's a good impulse, a bad impulse, a good memory deluge, a bad memory deluge. 4 copies of a very questionable card, Modern Counterspell. 4 Frogs, of course, 4 Ketramose, you know you love it. We got 1 Supreme Verdict as a sweeper. We got some Prismatic Endings and a fabulous white border for a 1 mana removal spell. A couple copies of Wrath of the Skies as an additional form of a sweeper. Leyline Binding as a catch-all removal spell since we are playing some Triomes in here. And then 4 copies of Solitude. So for our Triomes, we got the 1 Ketria Triome, 1 Raffine's Tower. The Ketria Triome pairs with Godless Shrine, and the Raffine's Tower pairs with, it looks like, nothing but the Ketria Triome in here. I'm really not sure about playing 2 Triomes in this mana base, but I guess we're going to find out how it feels pretty soon. Sideboard-wise, got 4 copies of Consign for Eldrazi, some Spell Snares for energy, and everything else that's just 2-drop focus like Storm. Meticulous Archive for the Frog matchup, Force of Negation for the combo decks, Harbinger of the Seas for the greedy mana bases, an additional Supreme Verdict and Wrath of the Skies for the go-wide decks, and then 1 Elesh Norn for being a blank card in our sideboard. Let's give it a try. Sure. Good old Shadowy Backstreet Counterspell. Leave Relic on top. I think I mind drawing Relic if we can actually get to this Ketramose. Maybe easier said than done. Holy schmoly, Goblin Guide. Now I'm sad that I kept this Relic on top. Swifty. Lava Spike. Alright, see if we have a land on top. Maybe I should fetch first, because it would be a terrible, terrible situation if the Triumph was on top that I wanted to fetch. Frog. I think I'm supposed to Solitude the other one here. Conserve as much life as possible. Try to jam this frog. Hope they have no answer for the frog. Happily discard Counterspell and Relic. Suspends Rift Bolt. Spikes me. Skewers me. Planes. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Maybe it's this tapped play Relic. Pass crack Relic. And then have a 4/4 lifelinker. Or Counterspell. That's assuming I get to live another turn though. Land Frog. You're a basic island, right? Survive. Bird is back, baby. I'm gonna draw another Counterspell. We're at 1 life. Put 1 card on top. Welp. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Okie dokie. So if I discard, I can Solitude my frog, go back up to 4, take the 3, and then I have the lifelinker here. As long as I don't die to my own Ketramose somehow. Hey, we got there. Was frog gonna draw us another Ketramose? Okay. Burn. Take the spell snares, take the force, out the Thoughtseize. I don't need the Supreme Verdict either. Could take Mystical Dispute over Wrath of the Skies. Just like 3 mana counterspell. Harbinger seems like it could be okay as well. Drop a relic. I know Ketramose doesn't kill me. It only draws on my turn. If they waited to bolt me until my turn, then I would have to Solitude the Ketramose, I think. And then I'm in a really bad spot. But they didn't wait, they just fired it off because they were afraid of counterspell. Dogs are unhappy. Dogs are mad at my burn opponent for not sequencing this correctly. The dogs don't like being on stream. Every once in a while, they'll like just walk in here and be like, "Sup." Most of the time, they don't take the streaming too fancy. They're too kindly, rather. They don't fancy it. I think I have to mulligan this hand. I don't think it does anything. Well, speaking of hands that do nothing. Sure. Got a relic on top. This mana base was not built for counterspell. It's lyric, OMG. My life for an ephemerate right now. Wait, this doesn't even get the Triome. Oh no, this mana base is a disaster. I was supposed to play Flooded Strand. Doing pretty well, Varmel. Ooh, Ketramose. Do I draw that? I guess I draw that. Suspends Rift Bolt. Down to 9. Apex Invitational Qualifier Doghouse. The Doghouse is a Magic Online tournament that I have run in the past. And the Apex Invitational is a tournament in Caldwell, Ohio, coming up on November 1st, I think. So if we hit the sub goal fast enough, then we can do a an Apex Invitational Qualifier Doghouse where the winner gets to get invited to Caldwell, Ohio. Why Caldwell, Ohio? That's where the tournament's taking place. Ah, man, I have to be dead here. They did have something last weekend, which is these are all tournaments that lead up to their one Apex Invitational qualifier. I am almost assuredly dead. Ooh. Sand's tough. I think I put back Harbinger just because I can never actually sustain Harbinger. I think I probably have to get Raffine's Tower also. Y'all got any more of these star charts I can consult? Found the star chart tweaker in chat. Y'all got star charts? Yo, let me see those. Force of Negation. I need a land. Sadly, Ketramose is not going to be online for quite a while. Cards in graveyard count, or cards in exile count, 1. Maybe 2 if I force something. Or I guess it'd be 3 if I force something. So I either have to draw, I gotta draw land into Frog, I think. Oh, imagine if I had Teferi in my deck. Land Teferi Time Raveler. GG. Hey, we gotta force that one. That one's flashback. Not that they're gonna get to the flashback anytime soon, but probably still worth forcing. Beautiful white border cards. I did know that. I've seen people erase the border off their card before. All it takes is a little bit of rubber. A full set of beta duels that were erased to be white border in the 90s. That's so brutal. Because people are going to think they were just revised. Man, that actually sucks. Be so much more expensive if people actually thought they were betas, not revised. Is there like a marking on it that signifies it other than the border color? Probably. Plateau's different art. I think there was like 2 of them that had different art. Look like unlimited. I'm at 5. They have a barbarian ring. Okay, hold on. So if I frog, let's tap correctly. If I frog, I can draw 2 by discarding this other Ketramose. I go down to 3. They can barbarian ring me down to 1. Alright, this only shocks, yeah. Only shocks. Alright, back up to 7. Down to 5. Oh, they didn't even Barbarian Ring me. Or okay, yeah, I actually have to draw one here, right? Discard this, draw. And then I go to 1. I count 11. Yay, we beat Burn. Sure. Tammy was whatever. Was Emery good? Oh, Emery looked great. As Emery does. This deck looks like I could use 4 Quantum Riddlers jammed in here for no reason at all. I like the way you think. Good thing we're playing that next. Pretty much the same deck, minus Frog, minus Ketramose, +4 Riddler, +4 Ephemerate. Surely it'll go great. Somebody else already trophied with it. What a tough mana base. Da dog. You may have a dog. You may not have that, though. Is casting Riddler ever actually better than discarding it to Frog? No. The answer is no. Discarding it to Frog is so much better always. Maybe I go Ketramose, Leyline Binding. I guess they could have Ephemerate, but if they have Ephemerate, maybe that's fine. Still got to draw for Ketramose. We're still gonna get rid of this Felia anyways. We're gonna lose our Wrath of the Skies. It's okay. Another Binding. Yeah, I think the fact that, like, even though they have the Ephemerate to counter our Leyline Binding, it's still gonna draw us a card. It's probably good enough for me to just be like, okay. Yeah, it's like Beans never left. Damn, they missed on their Overlord trigger. They milled Thoughtseize, Overlord, and lands. Ephemerate, Witch Enchanter, Witch Enchanter. Okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna Binding the Overlord. Take Ephemerate, and then I guess we're gonna kick the Star Charts. Can't miss on Riddler trigger. She. Hope we find Relic. No, speaking of Riddler. We can get Felia or Witch Enchanter. I got Felia. Let them win. Kick the star charts. That's a lot of relic. Take a pair of relic. I'm gonna draw a lot of cards, chat. Ooh, Counterspell. Ooh, Psychic Frog. Ooh, Prismatic Ending. Hmm. Could grab a Hallowed Fountain. Well, no, I already have a Hallowed Fountain. What do I want? Control thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Nice raid. Let's go get Watery Grave and then eat this. It's a lot of pending. Yeah, nice raid. Thank you. Appreciate it. Alright, I think it's all coming together, chat. I don't know if I'm supposed to play the frog or not, but I do want to counterspell this Quantum Rizzler. Well, maybe I don't have to counterspell this Quantum Rizzler. Dingo thanking all these people for the raids, but when I raid somebody's fridge, suddenly I'm an asshole. Well, I don't know if that quite translates one-to-one, but I get what you're saying. I'd like to draw one card. Play a frog. Pass. I think I'm binding the Fellia. Another frog. The Rizzler. See you later, buddy. Or Rizzler. Discard. Let's eat the Rizzler. Discard. Discard. Combat. Alright. Dies of Death. Okay. Well, let's bring in our blank sideboard card. Actually good in this matchup. What's not so good? Probably Wrath Disguise. Prismatic Ending's a little weird. I think I'd rather have Consign over Prismatic Ending. Yeah, we gotta Consign their Warp. Leyline Binding's also not that good in the matchup. Mostly because they have 10,000 Witch Enchanters. Spell Snare. Yeah, it might be better than Leyline Binding, This is double planes. Hey, of course, Andreas. Thanks for being here. What is this? Mana base. Maybe I have to keep planes, put back Watery Grave. Feels kind of bad. Well, if I knew I was drawing that, then things would have gone differently. Leave Thoughtseize on top and take a peek next turn. Actually, maybe it's better to hold up Counterspell. Went 2-3 with Hollow 1. Wasn't super impressed. But I also don't, I think playing Flameblade Adept was a mistake also. Flameblade Adept was not very strong. Flicker Wisp, Felia, Bogart, Trawler, Witch, and Janner. Yeah, the Flameblade Adept was pretty bad, and also Rumble was pretty bad in the deck too. All your stuff needs colored pips, so it's pretty much just a 2-mana mill 4. Better or worse than the Riddler? What was a tough one? Not 100% sure. What did they return? Was it Felia? I have Felia. Think I pass. This would be a lot easier if they just returned Flicker Wisp and went for the Flicker Wisp this turn. Oh. Hmm. GG. Gotta find an answer for this Felia. Probably have to crack Relics to try to find an answer to the Felia. I could get Triome and then untap and then crack it, I guess. I don't think I get super punished for that. You can also let me draw Ketramose, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty strong. This is fine to keep too. Da-dog. Make sure we're not auto-yielded anything here. This is like the best possible draw, I think. It's either that or removal spell for Felia. I want to crack this Relic too. I play Elesh Norn. They can attack with Felia and blink Elesh Norn, but I know they have Ephemerate in their hand also. So if I go for the Solitude, they're just gonna Ephemerate. I guess I just play the Elesh Norn. At least they can't do anything with Felia. Everything modern feels like a slot pile in 2025 except for Titan. I don't think that's true. I think the only decks that are piles, honestly, Energy feels kind of like a pile to me. I think it's all the Esper black white decks are piles. Boros is a pile, and then like Dimir Murktide builds are piles. Everything else is like a pretty unified linear strategy, I think. Plays a Witch Enchanter. Yeah, MH3 cards that share a keyword. I mean, they don't even have to share a keyword. Just MH3 cards. I'm gonna Ephemerate Felia. I guess I should Surveil. There will always be Elves Cope. Can't really blame them. Sadly, elves will never exist unless Glimpse of Nature becomes unbanned or some other like crazy combo card. That's kind of asking for a lot, right? Yeah, Riddler's the new cope. It's not bad. I would have definitely missed this in paper that Elesh Norn lets you surveil too, by the way. Magic Online only play. I think we Ketramose and then don't play Frog. So I know they have Fatal Push in hand, so Frog's just gonna get Fatal Pushed. It's Surveil 1 and then Surveil 1 again. It's not Surveil 2. So if you keep it on top the first time, we're gonna see the same card again. Alright. Yeah, it depends on if you want the top card. If you want the top card, then Surveil 1. If you don't want the top card, Surveil 2. You also don't get to see the card underneath it, though. I think I keep this hand, but I'm not thrilled about it. The Pro Tour is in 57 days. Oh, good. Third Ketramose. Save me, third Ketramose. Frogmite, Boots, Thought Monitor. 1, 2, 3. I think I have to take the Boots, sadly. I'm gonna dive to Urza Saga. As does every good blue deck. Two Thought Monitors. I mean, Glimpse is probably the best bet of saving elves. Would it save elves? Would it have a good chance of saving elves? Probably. Another Frogmite. Save me, Frog. Frog versus Frogmite. What is Monty Hall Roulette? I select 3 cards and then I shuffle them up. You pick one, or I pick one. You say which of the 3 cards you think it is, and I give you an opportunity to swap. And then if you get it right, you get a sub. If you get it wrong, you get timed out for a day. 8-8, by the way. Yo, what's up, Ashi? How you doing? Turns the frog to my hand. I think I need to eat my graveyard. Ashi, think of the 2 years. 6 cards. 7 cards. Doomed. So doomed. Alright, we'll replay the frog. It's gonna be our chump blocking frog. I also need them to put 1 card in exile for me. It doesn't matter if we ate the graveyard in response to the bounce. We're going to be one card short no matter how we slice it. Frog only eats in multiples of 3, and this needs 7, and they have nothing exiled. So I have to activate Frog 3 times, and we only had enough to activate Frog once, let alone twice. Now we can activate it twice, but I don't know exactly what that gets us. Gotta draw a Relic off the top, I think. I think that's our route. We try to Surveil Relic on top. And it's not Relic, so I don't think it's helpful. Verdict would also be an out. Wrath Disguise would be decent. I guess Wrath Disguise isn't an out either. Not even Relic's an out. I think it's exactly Verdict. Yeah, Relic's not an out either, because they have a flyer. Alright, gotta draw Verdict. So close. I think we take the Mystical Dispute also. I think it's a magic I'm boarding out most of my counter spells. Maybe we board out like 2 counter spells and a Thoughtseize. I don't really like Consign against this build, where they have the synthesizers. A lot of the cards I care about are blue. I think we're better off just trying to maximize Wrath Disguise. Deck needs more Rizzlers, true. Every deck needs more Rizzlers. Only if I can cast Settle the Wreckage for free. Then I'm down. If I have to pay mana for my Settle the Wreckage, I'm out. I cast Star Charts once so far, and it was okay. It was Memory Deluge that looked at one more card. Super Impulse. It's worse than Impulse if you cast it on turn 2. It's got its ups and its downs. It's okay. Is Consign good against colorless cards in this matchup? Not really. It's good against Saga, Chapter 2. But I think that's about it. That's the only thing I'd really want to consign in this matchup would be Saga Chapter 2. I think I'm supposed to leave it Mystical Dispute for turn 1 Tameo. I don't fear the Frog Might. And if they don't turn 1 Tameo or turn 1 Emery, then I'll probably just get a land for Leyline Binding here. Ketria Triome. Ketria Triome, and then Shadowy Backstreet. If we don't have to cast anything. Legacy players are stupid. Don't say that about Anzid. He's a nice guy. This is probably one of the most ambitious mana bases I've ever seen. The Leyline Binding, Thoughtseize, Wrath Disguise, Counterspell deck. Indeed. Another white source. Shadowy Backstreet, Surveil. You're not a white source, but you're not bad either. Leave the frog on top. I don't think if it's worth anything, or worth bluffing anything with a Ketria Triome. I think the Watery Grave's just a better bluff anyways. My superior whiteboarded Mystical Dispute. Do I play Ketramose? I think I do play Ketramose. Just for extra card draw. We'll try to Wrath next turn. Assuming we can get there with all this extra card draw. I don't know why they popped that Tormod script. I guess it was just to deny me one card. But I don't feel like it's really worth it to deny me one card. To pop an entire Tormod script. I'd like to draw a white source. That'd be very cool. Alright, I got no white source. I want to do that before they needle the frog also. Which they may or may not needle the frog. I could also just have Aether Spellbomb and bounce the frog. We'll find out soon enough. Yo, Weezer, thank you for the follow. Appreciate ya. Yippee! Wahoo! Okay. Makes a construct. And moment of truth, it's a Mox Opal. Equips a Shadow Spear. Ow. We did it. We are the greatest. They have Force of Negation. I wonder if doing this for 0, then leaving up Wrath is better, or leaving up Counterspell is better. Probably, right? I think it's fine if they have a Shadow Spear. Consult the star charts. Look at the top 4, select one. I'm in. Best card I've ever seen. What consulting they star charts? How'd you like energy with the new cards? I think the new cards were okay. But I think energy is such a good deck that it doesn't matter what else you play in the deck as long as you're playing the core Ocelot Pride plus Ajani, Goblin Bombardment, Guide of Souls. You can play whatever else you want and still have success. So I would take the new cards with a grain of salt. Do you think energy will lead to a stale format at the Pro Tour? Energy is beatable. Energy is very beatable. Our opponent said that their puppy is acting weird, so we're gonna run her to the emergency. Good luck in your league, sorry. Praise for our opponent's puppy. Yeah, Energy has a really tough time against combo. It's got a tough time against sweepers. So, I don't know. I don't think Energy is, like, overwhelmingly oppressive. Deck's obviously great, but it's beatable. I think the most annoying aspect of Energy is 100% Goblin Bombardment. I always feel like I'm so far ahead against Energy until they play Goblin Bombardment. I'm like, oh. You just pretty much bricked all my removal. My sweepers are significantly less good. I kind of think if they banned Goblin Bombardment, Energy would not be a top tier deck. I was on the ban Ajani train for a while, but I'm thinking Goblin Bombardment might be the biggest offender. This feels kind of awkward to get. Gotta find some black mana. Looks like we're up against Brood Scale. They honestly, they 100% could do a little swap in the ban list. Ban Goblin Bombardment, ban Ajani, unban Amped Raptor. I think energy would be totally fine. It'd be like a nerf to the deck, but you know, it wouldn't kill the deck. It would just give them like a different piece instead. Because I still am of the opinion that Amped Raptor died because of the One Ring Sins. Because Johnny's probably fine without Bomba. Yeah, it's probably fine. Yeah, I don't think energy needs massive nerfs. I think it just needs a little bit of reworking on what should be banned, what should be unbanned. So many tap lands in this deck. Ambraptor died for Soul Sins? Nah, I don't agree with that. I think the only reason Ambraptor was so hated was because it just high rolled into the One Ring. If you roll Amped Raptor into Galvanic Discharge, nobody's complaining about that. One, two, three. So I want to get the Triome in case we draw Leyline Binding. I have double white. Could get another blue source. Could also just get a plains here. I'm pretty sure it's Ketramose into pending the Springleaf Drum. Yeah, I'm sure at some point energy is going to be less than playable. Not that I think energy deserves that, because I don't think energy deserves that. But people are very much off put by energy for some reason. I don't know. It's just top tier deck syndrome. Any deck that's top tier, people are going to hate. Yeah, it'll be unplayable 1 month after the release of MH4. Like, people even hated blue-red Murktide somehow. When that was, like, such a great top-tier deck. That's right. If people hate top tier, and people hate Lantern, Lantern is top tier. People hate losing, and they lose more popular decks than unpopular ones. That is also true. Like, I don't think Energy is the best deck in the format. I think Energy's good. I don't think Energy's broken. Yeah, how is Energy the bad guy in a combo format? Yeah, there's 9 decks in Modern right now. If somebody told me they were playing in a major event, I would bat an eye. There's so many good decks in Modern that I don't understand why Energy gets so much hate. Yep. I agree. I think the format's great right now. True Counterspell. I don't think I want to Verdict this board. I think I just pass. Because it's basically an MH3 precon. It's not a good reason to hate a deck. New cards are going to get printed all the time. They're going to be powerful than older cards. That's how card games work. Power creep is going to exist no matter what. Standard sets have power creep. Do you think energy will be 20-30% of the format for the Pro Tour? I think people that are not as comfortable with the format will likely gravitate more toward energy than any other deck in the format, but I think the more experienced players might look elsewhere. I'm going to guess energy will probably be about 17%. That's going to be my number. That's going to be my guesstimate. Guess I gotta counter this, sadly. Oh, another Saga. I think I'm gonna try to avoid casting Verdict for as long as possible. See how long we can get away with not casting Verdict. I was like, why is Ketramose online? I was like, 5 plus 1 is not 7, and then I forgot about the Devourer that's under the Ugin Slab. It's kind of funny. But yeah, my guess is going to be like 17% energy, and I think there's going to be a lot of combo decks at the Pro Tour. Might be dead if they return that Devourer. I only have 5 mana. They need an Eldrazi Temple. We also have 2 Solitudes in our hand. But yeah, I think combo is going to be really popular at the PT. Brood Scale, Amulet, Belcher, I think are all very good decks, and I think they're all very good against energy. I think Storm will come back. Maybe. I think it depends on... It's kind of an RPS situation when it comes to Storm. I think I have to Solitude this. The reason it's an RPS situation is because Storm beats Energy, Energy beats Frog, and Frog beats Storm. So if you're on the right side of the RPS, I think that it's got a lot of potential to be really good. But again, you have to end up on the right side of the RPS. Because if you end up like picking Storm, then you just queue into Spell Snare the deck, the game, the adventure, you're just gonna lose. On Bad Death Red Shaman, agreed. Somebody mod that person. Favorite best combo deck at the moment? My personal favorite combo deck has to be probably Brood Scale. Brood Scale's so much fun. I'm not trying to get Emrakul. I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to pop this relic so I don't get Emrakul. But honestly, I think every combo deck in the format is pretty strong. Whether it be Belcher, or Amulet, or Storm, Brood Scale. Every combo deck in the format is just powerful. And that's also why Zoo is the top tier deck at the moment, is because Zoo is another deck that just kind of preys upon combo decks because it has cheap, efficient threats and then good counter magic in the form of Stubborn Denial. And I guess the Blake Consign also. That's why we did so well with Grixis Shadow, because if you high roll on Grixis Shadow in the matchup lottery and just queue into nothing but combo decks, you're going to have a great time. Because it's the same recipe as Zoo, where it's cheap threats and cheap counter magic and hand disruption, which is how you beat combo decks. What else do I want in this matchup? I probably do need Consign. I don't know if I want Harbinger in this matchup. I think I'm off the Leyline Bindings. Man, I'm a Counterspell hater. First card I always want to cut is Counterspell. Maybe shave a Ketramose and 1 Counterspell. Spell Snare is not too bad against them either, because it stops Rumble and it stops Brood Scale. You're down 1 Relic. 2, and we'll drop a Console. Belcher such a drool on your keyboard deck. There's some neat tricks you can do with Belcher. I think it's kind of complicated when it comes to returning your MDFCs with Tameo and then casting them. Also, whenever your Lotus gets to get blown up and you have a War in hand, you can work for a new Lotus and as you don't lose any mana for it. What the? Richard! With the 50 gifty? She. Holy shit. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but thank you, Richard. Holy Christ. That's a lot of subs. Who are you, Richard? And why did you decide to bless me this day? Alright, artisan chat for Richard. Very generous. Thank you so much. Hey, longtime follower, a couple of years ago, I got a ton of top placement and spikes thanks to your scam guys. Never got a chance to say thanks. Appreciate the streams. Well, thank you, Richard. Let me time out TZ real quick for failing the R pyramid. I appreciate that, Richard. Thank you. Raffine's tower. Yeah, we stand Richard in this house. Counterspell mana. What did they take off of this? They took Saga, right? Yeah, I took Saga. I think we just play Frog. Did nothing wrong. Did everything wrong. Yeah, we're pretty close to the Apex Invitational Qualifier Doghouse now. Let's go. Richard's the chosen one. Well, I'm the cozy one. This card's a war crime, chat. If I had to pick one single best card in the format, I would pick this card. I think this card carries so many of these Eldrazi Temple decks. Yeah, I bought it in the second verdict. I think this is the single best card in the format. I don't think it's anything from Energy. I don't think it's anything from a lot of decks. Yeah, this card needs to be launched into the sun. This is my vote for single most powerful card in the entire modern format. It could be Urza Saga. Urza Saga is probably a close second now with the change. Pre-change, it was not Urza Saga. I'll tell you that much. Post Blood Moon Harbinger change could potentially be Urza Saga. Frog. Well, I do think Frog does do some carrying of an unplayable decks. It's just so much easier to interact with than Kozilek's Command. You have to have Consign for Kozilek's Command in most decks that aren't playing Counter Magic. Urza Saga carries a lot of decks too. Like Lantern. Urza Saga is powerful enough to carry Lantern to be like a meh deck at least. Would like to draw a relic. You are not a relic. Hey, that's not bad. I don't know if I'd do that though. I just want a Solitude Fleshraker instead. And draw a card off of it. Putting the shields down is a little scary, but they don't have the brood scale or the blade yet, at least to my knowledge. I can't cast free spells after this either, so all in on killing this Flesh Rigger. But if they do have Emrakul, we're probably Emra cooked. Alright, we're Emra cooked. Well, I mean, Emrakul's not going to stick around. They're probably going to go Frog, Counterspell Frog. I think that's all they can do. Well, I can go Frog, discard my hand, and... Well, yeah, that's probably better, right? They just go Frog, discard my hand. I could have drawn more cards, though. I actually have no idea what they're going to do here. Exile my bin, then discard it again. I don't think they can kill me with Ketramose. Nah, they're pretty far away from killing me with Ketramose. But I'm gonna have nothing at the end of this. I think we have to draw another Solitude off the top or something of the equivalent during our turn. They Solitude Ketramose, then I think we're super dead. It's pretty much the only thing keeping us in this game. No. No. Oh, they are hoisted by their bubble. You're right. Nice, good job, bubble. I actually forgot about that. I think they forgot about it too. Oh, I drew another Solitude. Crash out incoming. Okie dokie. Brood Scale. Ballista X2. Wow. Damn, we're not too bad at the game, are we? Will make me lose my frog, though, because I do have to kill this Brood Scale. I guess I don't have to kill this Brood Scale. Why is Wrath for 1? What do you think I do here, chat? Just Wrath for 1? I can counter a Blade if they play a Blade. I think it's Wrath for 1. Well, the Wrath kills their Saga also. Okay. Alright. Prediction time, chat. Basic Plains, 2x Psychic Frog. It's a snap keep. We can actually cast our spells. His hand's kind of cracked. Oh, we can cast our spells. His hand's cracked. Watery Grave, Godless Shrine. Maybe I just start with Godless Shrine. No, because I want to draw a Counterspell. I think it's supposed to be Watery Grave. Holy fish. Lord, Lord, Lord. Dismember. GG. Okay. Well, I really, really wish I had gotten Godless Shrine now. Because now these all have Island Walk. They're going to be unblockable. I have to try to conserve a little bit of life here, maybe. So I could just go get Swamp, play Frog. I go to 14, they attack me for 3. I go to 11. I can play Ketramose off the basic planes. Also, it's probably good to fetch basics around Harbinger anyways. The only problem is I'm never going to be able to cast Counterspell. And on top of never being able to cast Counterspell, I'm never going to be able to cast any sort of double white spell. Space isn't too bad, CNAs. It's a good time. Island Walk is oh so relevant. Gotta root for Fish here. I think Fish are probably gonna win. I'm gonna be honest. I think I have to get my life linker down. So I can't block anyways, and I'm taking 8. Let's attack with Frog. I bet on my channel points, and you were gonna lose to Fish. I'm sorry. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Did you 5-0 with that artifact list? I 5-0 with that artifact list. The only thing I was 4-0 with was energy. But I didn't play Lord pre-combat. What does that mean? Oh, Shimata, my Ketramose. I guess we knew that they had that. Yeah, that happens. Another pending. So I need another white land. I can pending both of these. Monkey paw curls. I guess I should have played the relic too. Not that it's super relevant, because I do have to pending another one of these lords. Solitude would be the best draw. It's my swamp. It's a 3-mana Leyline Binding. Alright, we gotta think about this. Your red nose. Thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate it, Nick. We gotta think, chat. If I don't fly the frog, I guess I don't have a reason to fly the frog. So if I don't fly the frog, I can't kill both, though. I can't cast Binding and Pending. I can't do both. Because Binding's 3. I think I need a Solitude. Binding is 1 on the 1-drop. Oh, Pending is 1 on the 1-drop, sure. Yeah, I guess I could hope for them to brick for a turn. So I'm pending the 1-mana creature and then binding a lord, and then hope that they draw nothing. Yeah, I'm in. I was like hard set. Like in my mind, I was like, okay, we got a pending one of these, but no, it makes sense. Pending the 1-drop. Pull it up, try to blow them out. I think that's really risky because they have Force of Negation in their deck. And Flare of Denial. I think it's too risky. Just suck my seaweed? That was Silvergill Adept. We're back in the bind. Fly, draw, dead on board. If I attack, don't fly it. They could mess up and block. Alright, they didn't mess up and block. Do have to discard this. Okay, we drew an untap land. Does that help us? So I could exile 6, play the Ketramose, exile another 3, draw a card, and then hope to hit something. Pending. I only have 1 pending left in my deck, though. I guess I could hit Solitude, right? No. Damn. I just want to see what we would have drawn. What's the draw after that? Thoughtseize, yeah, we weren't going to win that. Wrath, Verdict. Mystical Dispute seems fine. Counterspell, I think, is awful. So let's start there, and then we'll bring in Spell Snare over the last Counterspell. Spell Snare's not too bad. So let's try 3 Spell Snares over 2 Thoughtseizes. Damn, we're gonna get Dream Crushed by Merfolk. That's crazy. You don't have another white card? No. We draw Solitude off of the Ketramose, then we crack the Relic and we draw another white card. Alright, peace out, DZ. Oh, wait, you did it. Hand's not bad. Aether Vial. Yeah, Vial on 1 dead. Probably gonna end up discarding this Spell Snare. 100% gonna discard this Spell Snare. Oh, Vial on 1 and Vial on 2. Well, that's quite rude. That's vile. No, that's vile. That's rude. Hmm. I'm gonna grab Swamp because I drew the second plains. So, Ketramose go. Discard the whole hand to Deedle. Yes, that's 100% crazy. That's lunacy. They have that 2-drop thing that bounces a tap creature. You're Highland fixing. That's not ideal. Pass. See what they violent at end step here. I think I'm supposed to try to Solitude this Harbinger. It's 3 cards in exile. I can get it up to 6. That's it. In a perfect world, we dodge getting Harbinger again for another turn. Then Wrath Disguise. Ketramose, though. Poor guy. Never stood a chance. Think they have a card like Surveillance? Solitude. Another pending. Tidebinder. No. No, my frog. This game is very interesting now. We have a couple different lines here. I feel like we crack Relic for sure. I'm just deciding if I can afford to take all this damage here. It's not necessarily a small amount of damage. Should we try to get greedy? Or should we pending the Lord? I think we pending the Lord. Maybe I should have not tapped this instead, crack the Relic, and then pending the Tidebinder, leave him with the Lord. I don't know. Alright, it loaded into the client like that. It's not my fault. I have his frog doubly locked down. I think what I should have done was tap this, crack the Relic, and then pending X3 on the Tidebinder, and then just pass the turn. Oops. Where's the Saga? Whoa. No, my frog. I want to get another planes with this, I think. Discarded to be a 5/6. They have Needle. Boy, bro, that's a paper play, isn't it? Damn, the entire board gone just like that. Binding frog. I think we're going to game 3. Hoorah. I am on the anti-Rizzler crusade, but I'm warming up to the Star Charts card. I don't hate that card. Lord of Atlantis. Kind of crazy they're playing Urza Saga in this list. They're a fighter. Yeah, they're trying to live the Harbinger Saga dream. But the only good thing to get off of Saga and Fish is Aether Vial, but you don't want Aether Vial on turn 3 anyways. Just kind of confuses me. Well, after seeing more of their list, does this change anything? I think I still want the Spell Snares. Like, yeah, Spell Snare's not great against Cavern, but neither is the rest of my sideboard, really. I'm very worried about playing Thoughtseize, though, because they are an aggressive deck. So it's like, I don't really want to play this many Thoughtseizes against the aggressive Urza Saga deck. I think I'd rather just play Spell Snare. Yo, what's up, Bamzing? We're to try to fetch basics if possible. Basic Swamp, Thoughtseize, basic Plains. Our opponent's mulliganing to 5. Kept their 5. Silvergill, Tide Shaper, Urza Saga. If I take Tide Shaper, they'd have to top deck to cast Silvergill, but Silver is probably going to help them undo the mulligan a little bit. Let's just take the Silvergill. I think it's either Silvergill or Flare. You get no cards. None cards. We also need like a little bit of help here. I think if they hit land drop and they counter my Ketramose, I'm in not a great spot. Spell Snare. Yeah, probably not a bad spot now. I wonder if they have like Aether Spellbomb. Possible that they're playing Aether Spellbomb. La Bomba? Drum. Hey, they fixed our mana. Woo! Verdict. Alright. Every 5-0, chat. Unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong. Every 5-0. Not too shabby. We got an untapped Raffine's Tower out of it. Your points. We have all 3 Spell Snares in our hand. That's a lot of Spell Snare. But a 6-0 with the Rizzler. Probably accurate. Play 4 Ketramose. This Ketramose card's kind of nuts. It's time to bring back the propaganda, Bamzing. No. My Ketramose. Pending Solitude. I have too many cards in my hand. Rip. Not even worth spending a penny on this. I have a full house of Wrath of the Skies and Spell Snares. Maybe I time out. I only have 8 minutes and 45 seconds left. I guess it's not impossible for me to time out. Let's play abysmally slow. Sure. Might as well. So I don't have to discard him. They revealed the Tidebinder. Like another end step star charts. Gotta find a Ketramose. Alright, we found a Ketramose. Maybe I deck out. Faster. We'll get him to use the Tidebinder so I can Mystical Dispute it. Good, another star charts. Yeah, good thing we used our counter magic when we did, chat. It's only a matter of time. I start discarding sweepers. I didn't even tap their cavern. They don't have the fight left in them to tap their cavern. Let's tap another Tidebinder, maybe. Cavern's like 3 extra clicks, I feel for them. I think they have another Tidebinder in their hand. Let's keep casting Consult the Star Charts, so that way we get YouTube impressions. Let's take Frog and Thoughtseize. This one card breaks Modern. Let's just Consult the Star Charts. They have the fight back in them. They cast a Tidebinder. Goodbye, Tidebinder. It's like Blue Rumble. In a way, yeah. It's been garbage time for like the past 7 turns. Alright. Yay. There's a graveyard leftovers. Hell no. That could be broken. Frog flexing. A little bit. Alright, so what was the good? What was the bad? What was the everything in between? Consult the star charts. Surprisingly good. I'm very, very impressed by that card. I think it's actually very good. So, thumbs up for consult the star charts. The Leyline Bindings, I think, were actually a detriment for this list because it made the mana base so bad. We're the trophy leader. Shee! We're at the top of the list, chat. We made it. We triumphed over Respect the Cat. Yeah, I think Consult the Star Charts is pretty good in any sort of control-y list. But I didn't like the Leyline Bindings very much because I think it ruined the mana base. Other than that, I didn't really have any complaints with this list.
Have you peeked? Bing bong, bing bong, bing bing bong. Have you peeked?
You're a third-rate duelist.
I can't take it anymore.